You have a lot of attachment choices out there, and industrial grapples are no exception. They're all built the same, right? That couldn't be further from the truth. If you can't afford downtime, you shouldn't settle for an inferior grapple. We'll help you know what to look for, point out where others cut corners, and show you why Bobcat grapples are simply built better. Bobcat uses more steel in the grapple tines. It's 3/4 inch thick. The large open design makes it easier to see your work. Tines are reinforced by this 4-inch cross-section tube, then gusseted to the end of the tine. It's all welded nicely to a 6-inch mainframe tube with safety steps. Bobcat grapples use bigger cylinders for maximum closing force. The large pins and grease zerks concentrate the force closer to the center of the bucket. These cylinders are protected by the steel case that also protects the hoses routed at the back. Bobcat switches over to tougher steel tube lines here in the back and protects the steel tubing with this cover. The hose routing has very little exposure to snags and other hazards, and these hoses have Cordura hose protection running the entire length. This removable guide keeps your hoses in place during operation and also allows you to store the hoses high and out of the dirt. Anyone who has ever ripped off a set of hoses can tell you how handy this is. The 90-degree short couplers are less prone to damage and easier to install or remove. Look behind the right cylinder to find the serial number plate. This will help you determine if it's a genuine Bobcat attachment or just another knockoff. This grapple may be cheaper, but going cheap will cost you some expensive headaches. You'll quickly notice all the hoses and these potential snag points. They run exposed hoses along the back to this large block out in the open. They even use plumber's tape to keep the leaks down a little. I think I used this stuff when I fixed my bathroom sink last weekend. This manufacturer has these wimpy cylinders held on by cotter pins and no grease protection. You don't have to be a mechanic to know that this will be a high failure spot. They hamper these little cylinders even more by mounting them on the side and not in the middle. You can see why they chose these small cylinders, because structurally, this bucket couldn't handle much more. That isn't the only thing that concerns me. As you can see, the grapple structure is simply stitch welded to the back of the bucket. You'll need a good grease gun. This sticker's right. You'll need lots of grease to cover this 2-foot shaft. The tines have much thinner steel, at only a 1/2 inch thick. And to stiffen the thinner tines, they run the sheet metal between them. That should help a little, but the steel blocks your view. This manufacturer also uses thinner 1/2 inch steel on the tines, so they need sheet metal for reinforcement. It's another grapple design that makes it difficult to see your load. I'm not sure about this joint. Either the grease has to travel all the way down here, or it's only going to reach the ends. I don't think I'd trust it. The cylinders are really exposed and vulnerable to damage, and these hoses are left out in the open and unguarded. And if you break one of these ports or tube lines, you'll be heading for parts. I like how they guard the hoses in the back, but they didn't consider how to protect these hoses that lead to the machine. And no removable hose guide on this unit. This manufacturer does a better job, however, they still don't come close. The steel in the tines is 1/3 thinner than Bobcat tines. They took out some material through here, so the visibility is better, but the sheet metal still reduces your visibility towards the top of the pile. These cylinder hoses aren't protected as well. Bobcat adds a plate here. Since they don't manufacture machines, they have hoses coming out of the center. Now this helps if you don't know which side you're going to mount the hoses, but you don't want loose hoses near your quick attach and loader arms. And again, no removable hose guide. Look at this covering. It only covers half the hose. Unlike these, Bobcat wraps their hoses individually. These small details can mean the difference between a solid day's work, a frustrating day of weak performance, or even worse, downtime. With a Bobcat grapple, you know you're getting better design and superior quality. When you ask for Bobcat grapples, you're getting a huge Bobcat advantage.